the new head coach at Auburn, Hugh Freeze. Very excited to get Coach on. I know the Booster Club is as well. Coach Freeze, can you hear me?
I got you, Jake. How you doing, man?
Man, I am doing great. Appreciate you taking some time, brother. I know it's been a whirlwind, but you guys have hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, probably unlike any that I've experienced. But January and December were quite hectic, and hopefully now we can. We just had a really good team meeting this morning, and looking forward to starting to get prepped for spring ball. But it definitely has been a whirlwind.
Definitely, and like I said, you guys have obviously had success in recruiting and in the transfer portal. But Coach, I want to start. Me and you have been very fortunate enough to have conversations with you over a long period of time. And, we always talk about competitiveness and competitors and how it never leaves you. We led off the show today talking about the list of the top 5 sportsmen ever, the combination of championship and drive and changing the game. And everybody kind of has an ego and everybody loves to compete. But being back, and Liberty is an unbelievable place. I know you loved it there. They have unbelievable facilities, and the sky is the limit there. But being back at the top of the pyramid, in the SEC West, in the SEC, fighting in the show, for lack of a better term, how excited are you to get back to the Southeastern Conference and try and compete for a national championship?
Well, you said a lot there that's packed with a lot of truth. One, Liberty was an incredible place to work and live and coach, and it was just a great fit for Jill and I and the girls, and great people there. I see your helmet back there on the wall.
Oh yeah,
and we won a lot of games, or a lot of big games, and so have great memories from there. And truthfully, it would have been extremely hard to leave there for really almost any place. But Jill and I kind of had 3 places in mind that if they, came calling and we had an opportunity to go down that road, we at least had to go down the road. And at the top of the list was Auburn. And we've always felt like we fit in this community with who the Auburn family really is. And obviously, it still didn't make it extremely easy because we were comfortable, but comfort can be your enemy. And I think we could have sat there and won a lot of games and done a lot of great things. But like you said, I think some of us just have this drive to test ourselves. And can I really take a group of men, a group of ladies, staff, and combine them with a group of players and set a vision and enact that vision at the highest level against the dudes, against the top of the food chain, and pull it off to where you get in the mix with those for those games where everybody's tuning in and you want to be in that arena. And man, can you in time put something together that makes that team and that program competitive like it once was? And that motivates me greatly. I guess I'm probably a little twisted in some ways, because a lot of people are like, man, why in the world would you want to undertake that? And I guess it's something that motivates me. And I don't know if I answered your question, Jake.
No, you did, Coach. You did. I mean, look, at some point, you're the one that's got to put your head down on the pillow at night. You got to look in the mirror. Yeah. My thing is, I didn't want my life to end not knowing, or at least giving it a shot. Yeah. At least I could look myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I tried to go toe-to-toe with the big boys. I wanted to dance in that arena, and I did. But Coach, we always talk about the circumstance of where you take the job. I think we do in sports media now that I've kind of been into it a couple of years. I don't think sports media does a great job of understanding circumstance and nuance when you take a job. We tend to generalize, oh, well, it's a new coach, he needs to do this. Programs are in different spots when you take it over, but it seems like the spot Auburn is in this first year, you guys have done a really good job of blending the transfer portal while having success signing high school kids. Is the perfect mix, in your opinion, plugging some holes on the boat with transfer portal guys, but building the ship out of developing high school players? I know year one's a little bit different. You want to flip the roster, get some older guys in to help you have that success on the field to go into that high school recruits home and be able to get the big time players on the line of scrimmage. Is that kind of your vision for Auburn in year one? Use the portal, high school kids, but going forward kind of have a nice mix that we see at Alabama and Georgia somewhat?
Yeah, I don't. I think Auburn is one of the top 10 programs in the country. It can be. Mm-hmm. I think when you're at one of those programs, you should build it from the high school ranks. And obviously, none of us can say that we're not going to take portal kids to fill holes, or that make it an impact on you. But primarily, I hope with the 24 class, now that we have time, I don't think you can judge what we did very well on the 23. With the really the 2 weeks we had to try to get some help in here. But I think in the 24 class, hopefully you'll see that, man, we did really, really well with high school recruiting and are able to start developing that over the period of time, and obviously still look to the portal for additions that help us. The one, I mean, if we're going to be totally, so I just left a team meeting and I told them, man, we're going to have to be very straight with each other because it's a new world. The only issue with that, Jake, and I don't know if you guys have talked about it, and it's not a fun thing to talk about, but it's true, is, the challenges coaches face that when we say that is the portal kid gets to stay with you.
Yeah.
The high school kid, and so therefore the high school kid, you may sign it with the full intentions to develop them, but man, how much time do we have to develop them now?
Yeah.
And that is sad. I think it's a bad precedence for us to allow them to do that. And I'm for young men getting everything they deserve and want out of their name, image, likeness, and all those things. But I do think we should also have the element of, man, sometimes it's hard, and we have to do the hard to get through, to get where we want to go in life or in football or those other things. So as a coach, you're trying to juggle those, and I think you have to balance the how is the culture in our locker room? Are we going to be able to hold on to that kid to develop him for that junior year when he's going to be really ready to play? And who are all the voices that he's going to listen to? And so I think you have to also, that's why we're hiring so many big recruiting departments, because, guys, I got to know everything.
Yeah.
I got to know, if we take this kid, how many voices does he have in his world that are going to tell him as a freshman, hey, coach he ain't getting it done. You ain't developed yet. You got to move on. And that's unfortunately that's part of it.
Yeah, and Cohen, we talk about this all the time. It's hard to grow from adversity when you're able to run from it so easily.
No, exactly, Coach. I mean, the college football has changed so much since I played. There were many times I wanted to run home.
Yeah.
If I had been able to just
Michigan
transfer.
From Georgia.
I was 1,000 miles away from home in the freezing snow with just a North Face jacket, basically. But it's changed so much even since you began your coaching career. You talk about name, image, and likeness. It is this tool that you can use. Like we've always said, I don't remember growing up and ever hearing someone say, I love college football because I love the fact that the kids are being exploited and they can't be paid. No one has ever said that. So it is great that these kids are able to maximize their name, image, and likeness and to receive sponsorship dollars. But now, you sort of have these collectives where kids are able to get paid from the school. And you look at Auburn, I agree with you on your top 10 comment. Jake and I have talked about this a lot. I think Auburn can be a top 10 program in the country. And you look to your west, your biggest rival, Alabama. You look to your east there in Athens, Georgia, back-to-back championships. How are you coming in year one able to utilize some of the tools like name, image, and likeness to be able to get the players you want to run the offensive system that you need to have success early?
Yeah, I was back one more thing, and then I want to answer that. But the last words out of my father's mouth when I loaded up and went to college was, and my dad loved me, but he was a hard-working, tough dude. And he says, I don't care what they do to you. I don't care how bad it gets. I don't care what happens. You are not coming home.
Yes, wait, my dad said, see you in 4 years.
Hold on. Did we all have the same dad?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what he told me. At the time, I thought it was kind of cruel. I felt that 4.5 hour drive. I thought, man, that wasn't a very nice thing for him to say to me. But he knew what he was talking about. So I just talked to our kids very candidly this morning about this, about the name, image, and likeness. So truthfully, I was ill prepared to handle that part. I've taken over a bunch of different programs. Every program I've ever taken over was kind of down for some reason, and those are the kind of the ones I like. I don't know that it's very smart to go follow somebody that won 11 games, or I've never thought that was really smart for me to do that. So, but I was. So it wasn't the fact that, man, we have issues that we have to get, fixed in order to get this program back where it once was. And obviously it's played for 2 national championships in the last 12 years now. There's only 4 other schools that can say that, maybe 4 or 5 that can say that in the last 12 years. And so you think about the things that Gus did well here and Chiswick did well here. And obviously, I believe it can be restored, but I was not, man, I have a plan for everything. I really do. I had spent time when I knew this was a possibility, figuring out, all right, this is what you do with with NIL. I was just, I was so ill prepared for that it caused me some great anxiousness in trying, because I want to protect the locker room.
Yeah.
And I had a very frank discussion with our team this morning, and I think it was well received. Life is never fair, totally, ever. But you still should operate out of your blessing. And you don't get to decide what fair is for you, nor do the voices in your head get to decide that. How about the young men in here that are going to go in debt to be a part of this team?
Yeah.
They're not getting anything. So how about you give them some of yours? And if we start approaching it that way, where, man, I want to operate out of my blessing and I quit looking around at what I heard or what I said. I do have a plan long term to try to make it more equitable, because I just want the locker room to be healthy. But I wasn't totally prepared. I'm going to be better for this 24 class and kind of knowing what to expect in that world. But anyway, I don't know if I answered your question. I can't remember what it was.
No, that's great. Thank you.
Well, Coach, first of all, War Eagle. Second of all, that hoodie is absolutely fire.
Yeah.
That hoodie is gasoline, Coach. The drip.
That's Blaine's way of saying he wants
the drip is real. No. Well, yeah, I would love one, but I haven't seen anything like that.
I've never seen it.
And I say up to date to someone on Auburn gear.
It's funny that I just got it yesterday from one of my old friends in Mississippi. Sent it to me, and it is the softest hoodie I've ever put
Is it
on.
the Belichick cutoff hoodie? Like, are you cut off right there on the sleeve? Okay, it's full length.
Yeah,
okay,
it's forearm.
It's full like, and so I suspect we're going to be getting some people wanting to order them, and I bet my friend would be happy to get us some here. And if he does, I will send you guys some.
Look, I'll order them. You just give me the link, and I'm there.
Blaine will wear them as a
I'll
shirt
wear
and
it every day. I'll wear it.
Blaine will have it as a shirt, hoodie, and pants
all day.
Listen, I told him last night when I felt it. I said, "All right, I want a blue one."
Yes, sir.
Right. It's like me when I get to Burger King about 11 at night. I'll have 6 of them.
Hey, you need to quit. You need to quit doing that.
Yeah, all right.
You need to quit doing that, Coach. I was going to ask, how's it been? How's the transition been? Just coming to Auburn. What's the one thing you loved so far about coming to Auburn? Doesn't have to be about football. It could be Tumor's Corner, the lemonade. But what's one thing that kind of sticks out to you about coming to Auburn?
The one thing probably is the Auburn family is just neat.
Yeah,
it's just the love that Jill and I have, and acceptance that we've in our children. And that's another thing. All my family's together again, which family to me is everything at this point in my life. It's to be with my daughter Jordan and her husband Mark, and my daughter Reagan and her husband Ryan, and then our youngest is transferred here, and so man, we're together, and that's just it makes my life feel complete. So I think it's the feel of the Auburn family and the excitement of me of taking on another rebuild, which that motivates me, greatly. It's like, you lose Malik Willis and everybody's like, you can't do it again. That motivates the heck out of me to hear those things.
Yes,
and then
sir.
we go and beat BYU and Arkansas, without him last year. So it's sort of like that. I guess it's just that I got this new little, drive.
Yeah.
To say, bring it. Let's get this thing going and see if we can't do it. So that's been those two things probably are the two things that I've loved the most feeling.
Yeah. Well, Coach, like I said, we really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy. Last question for you. I got to ask you about this. I know you can't give me the secret sauce or tell me what's going to happen, but I have to ask it. Quarterback situation right now. Robbie Ashford had a hell of a game against Alabama to really end the year last year throwing the ball. There was some momentum there as well. You've got a whole spring, and I don't think people realize the transfer portal, for spring, it's not done. It opens back up again. Guys kind of figure out where they're going. Just, without getting into specifics that I know you can't, kind of where is the quarterback battle right now in your eyes? I know you're a guy that wants them to prove it out in the field.
Well, I don't really know the answer because I haven't coached any of them a single down.
Yeah.
I have met with them to try to start working the mental side of this position because I do think there's some growing up that needs to take place in that regard. And I don't mean that as a knock or a negative. I don't know that they've ever been told, look, this is not acceptable to be the quarterback here. You don't react this way or this way. You don't get too high and you don't get too low. We're not going to operate out of emotion. And we're going to work hard at being a leader in all circumstances. And I'm excited. I'm like you. I had my guys do some cut-ups on the men in our room right now. And, I can watch a cut-up with all positives and think, you know what, we got something here to work with.
Yeah.
And then I can watch the other side of it also and say, we got a lot of work to do. So I guess my thought process is if a young man can do it that well 25 times, why can't he do it well a larger percentage of the time? Yeah. And so I do believe we have one of the greatest quarterback coaching rooms ever assembled with Ken Austin and Monty and myself. And so I'm really anxious to see what TJ and Robbie and Holden can do in spring practice. And obviously you still have that second portal window if we felt like we needed another experienced guy to come in to help us. We'll try our best to get them.
Yeah, look, Coach, I got a few throws left in this shoulder.
I got a year left. I got a year eligibility left.
Coach, he's 6'7". He got a year left.
Look.
Well, now in NCAA, you can play for 33 years, so you'll be good. You probably still got 3 years. But, Coach, like I said, I know you're busy. Sorry, Blaine.
Yeah.
Said quarterback.
Screw me, huh? All right. If you need a slot or an outside guy.
Your shoulder.
I block well.
Yeah, it's put together with pepperoni. I don't want to hear it. Coach, we appreciate your time, man. Really happy for you and you being able to bring your family along with it. I know what's in your heart, man. I know what type man you are, and I'm very excited for you and excited for Auburn.
Well, you've always been kind to me, Jake, and real, and so I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Definitely, Coach.
Yes,
real
sir.
Recognize real. It's what they say at the end of the day. Tell everybody we said hello and enjoy that beautiful Auburn air and sky there behind you.
Yeah, and Mama Goldberg's too. Get you some.
All right, Coach. See ya.
All right, guys.
Hey, YouTube. Yeah, you. We need you to subscribe. That'd be great. We want to keep growing the show, but we can only do that if you turn on that notification bell, you ring that thing like Quasimodo, and you hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed because the content has just started like waves rolling on the beach.